Thank you. Welcome to Geek News, our episode 25, I believe we're up to. It's crazy. I want to thank everybody for the support last week. Our podcast is the highest views that we've had so far. Actually, pretty high. It's pretty impressive. So thank you to everybody that listened. If you could do us a favor after you listen to this or after you watch it, whether you're on YouTube or iTunes, please rate and review or like, comment. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, and we will be quick to respond and have a feedback. That's one of the reasons we wanted to do this. Yeah, I mean, there hasn't been much news going on this past week. I mean, there's a few things, but I mean, the only news story I could really find that was worth talking about was the Disney XD and Marvel are going to create Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon series, which could be fun. I mean, some of the Disney XD stuff is awesome, some of it's okay, and some of it sucks. So hopefully it's more on the okay to awesome side of the spectrum and not the sucks to okay spectrum. I'm down. It's exciting. Max, I know you know some of the voice cast, I think.
Yeah, they announced the first guy, Kevin Michael Richardson. He's going to play Groot. That's all they've announced so far. They're going to keep on announcing throughout the week. Yeah, this guy, he does a lot of work. He's a really good voice actor, but I just jotting down some of the funnier jobs that he's gotten lately. He played Barney Rubble in the Flintstones WWE Stone Age SmackDown. He played a seagull in the SpongeBob movie. In Elf Buddy's Musical Christmas, he played Fake Santa #2. He's also done a lot of voices on Simpsons and Family Guy, and he's also played Groot before like 7 times. He played it on the Hulk Agents of Smash. He plays it on the Disney Infinity Game. He was on Avengers Assemble as Groot and Ultimate Spiderman as Groot too. So it's not like he's unfamiliar with the work.
Awesome.
Basically, has to say Groot. I mean,
Hard either, but yeah.
No,
So, the guy's pretty good. If you want to listen to him say "I am Groot," you can do any of the things. You can watch Hulk Agents of Smash, play the Disney Infinity Game, watch Avengers Assemble or Ultimate Spider-Man, and you can hear him say, "I am Groot."
Philip? Philip?
My back. To the back.
So I'm gonna go with. Were you asking my opinion, Jason?
Yeah.
Okay. I lost you there. So it definitely seems like an interesting show. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen the. Oh, what was the previous incarnation before they did Avengers Assemble? Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That one was actually pretty good. And they had so I will try and speak clearly. But so Earth's Mightiest Heroes is actually a really good Disney XD show before they canceled it to make Avengers Assemble to tie in better with the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Dan?
Disney XD. Did they do the really cool Tron series?
Yes.
Then I'm down with it. And that's pretty much all I have to say.
Awesome. I mean, so since there wasn't a whole lot of news, I mean, one other story I guess I'll just touch on real quick, and if anybody wants to comment, they can. The Colossus will appear in Deadpool. What, Max?
I just want to, Dan, you like that Tron show?
Yes, I did.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm sorry. That was it.
I've heard actually a lot of people say that they like that show a lot.
All right.
See, I have lots of people on my side, apparently.
Yeah, lots of stupid people do lots of stupid things, Dan. That's cool. I mean, whatever.
Anyway, Colossus will appear in Deadpool, but he is being recast. It won't be the same Colossus that's appeared in the X-Men movies. I don't know what that means as far as anything goes. I just know that they're recasting the role of Colossus. Anybody want to comment on that? All right, awesome. Let's get into it.
Oh, dude, no, I was gonna be a super nerd. Like, I can't believe that they would break continuity and not recast Colossus. This is some bullcrap. I thought that they were bringing back all the original cast members for the movies when they showed every other original cast member in X-Men: Days of Future Past. If you watch the video at no, I'm just kidding. That's it. That's all I got.
That's funny that you say that, because actually none of the original cast is coming back for any of the X-Men movies
They're all there at the end of that crappy movie.
except for Jackman and Ian McKellen's Magneto is coming back. What's that?
Oh, I'm just saying, they're all there, and they gotta cast the original Colossus guy. That's bullcrap. Why is he getting chipped?
So I was reading some pretty fun stuff. Apparently Marvel hates Fox. Like, Sony and Marvel were able to work out a deal where they could work together, but I guess a few years back after the second Fantastic Four movie didn't do so well, Marvel tried to acquire the rights to the Fantastic Four back, but Fox said no, we're going to do this or whatever. So Marvel is canceling the Fantastic Four comic series, and they have a rule for all of their writers and illustrators that they're not allowed to make any new X-Men characters, because they don't want to give Fox any more characters to use in their universe. I just thought that was interesting and wanted to see what you guys thought about that.
I mean, if they don't like Fox that much... Oh, sorry.
It doesn't matter.
But they could just make, like, crappy characters for them to have. Like, I don't know, like make Towel Man or something.
Towel Man could be awesome. You don't know that. He might be fantastic.
But, I don't know.
He could be like Tally, just like come in and be like, hi, and then leave. Only he has like a big towel as a cape.
Okay, something lamer then. I don't know. Librarian Man.
Max? Any thoughts? Anything?
Oh, hold on, sorry. I was unmuted that whole time. Wow, that's crazy. I was just not speaking. I was unmuted the whole time.
No, you were muted the whole time.
Anyway, Marvel, they're acting like a bunch of little kids. I'm sorry, like, you're acting like a bunch of little kids. Like, the Fantastic Four getting canceled, I've never really been that huge of a Fantastic Four fan, so, like, it doesn't really bother me, but it is kind of sad that something that's been going on since the beginning of Marvel is going to end over some petty little stuff. Like, there's no reason to stop writing good stories if people have good stories to write, and there's no reason to stop, making new characters if the characters are cool and relevant, and that's just a shame, and so that they're gonna act like that kind of reflects poorly on Marvel. This is like the first kind of like time they've ever done anything where I'm just like, well, wow, guys, I guess, and that's your right, it's well within your right, obviously, but you guys are just acting like a bunch of little kids. I don't like that.
Philip?
So, can you all hear me this time?
Yeah. Hmm?
Cool. So I actually think, I agree with Max. I think it's a bit childish, but at the same time, I think Disney owns all of Marvel at this point, right, including the movie and comics.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why. I mean, that's really what it comes down to is profit. Is they want to basically, which to me I think is a bit short-sighted on their part. Sure, it prevents Fox from getting money short-term, but long-term it's probably going to hurt their comics unless they keep up really interesting storylines that make people want to buy the magazines, or the comics rather. But I don't know. I mean, maybe that's just my perspective. Maybe comic book fans will always buy it no matter if it's interesting or not. I don't know.
Oh, that's true. We will. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Well, I've said it. Like most comic books are bad. I've said that multiple times. You just gotta weed through and get to the good stuff. But yeah, no, we'll read whatever crap you put out. Like I'm not having a good time reading Future's End right now. I'm reading it anyway. That's there we are. That's exactly what it is.
Hey, I agree. They were able to work out the Spider-Man deal, and maybe if they could just get along, because it doesn't matter who the studio is. Like if when Batman vs Superman comes out and it's good, then the next Marvel movie is going to do even better because the last comic book movie, because the general public doesn't know one studio from the next. They know comic book movies. So if one comic book movie does well, then the next one's going to do well, and so on. And then when one studio does a bad movie, then it's going to reflect on others somewhat. I mean, not obviously the hardcore fans know the difference between them, but a lot of people don't. So if the movies are good, then they just help each other out by being good, and I don't see why they all need to fight. They should just get along, and maybe they could work out a deal the same way they did with Sony and kind of get some more control over their characters instead of fighting dirty. But yeah, so speaking of comic book movies, let's have a discussion. We haven't done this in a while because the news topics seem to take up most of our podcast, but we are going to discuss bad comic book movies. And I was thinking today, what is my least favorite comic book movie? And it is probably, and there's a lot of bad ones, there's a lot of good ones, there's a lot of okay ones, but my least favorite comic book movie is Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. Have you guys seen this? Superman uses his head to rebuild a wall. Like, come on. And then there's like Meteor Man that's like cloned off of Superman's hair, and it's got the Alan from 2.5 Men, John Cryer. It is bad. It is the worst. I would rather watch Roger Corman's Fantastic Four for a whole day than watch that movie for a day. And it's bad. You guys, any comic book movies that what's your least favorite comic book movie, Max?
I mean, I don't know if you can even quantify that. There's so many bad comic book movies. Like you're like, okay, we're going to talk about bad comic book movies. I said, okay, well, we're going to be talking about this for like 4 or 5 hours at least, because at first you have your really crappy Captain America, your Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie. You got your Roger Corman Fantastic Four. That's really the movies that are coming out. And, yeah, there it is. Look at that there. But, yeah, so, those are obviously terrible movies. But Dolph Lundgren Punisher, I love that one. But, not really a great movie. Then, you have the first of the New Age movies coming out. Your X1, which was not a very good movie. Spiderman 1, not very good. But then they pick up a little steam. X2, Spider-Man 2, very good. So we're going to leave them out of conversation. But then both of them just fall off the face of the earth. Spider-Man 3, X3, arguably, which one's worse? You go ahead and argue which one's worse. And that's there's, I don't know. So
Spider-Man 3, honestly.
Spider-Man 3 is worse than X3, you think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
None of the X-Men
did
did stupid dances and turn into hipsters. Sorry.
But yeah. For me, I mean, Iron Man 2, terrible movie. I think Iron Man 2 is the worst one for me, actually, because it fooled me. The first time I saw Iron Man 2, I really liked it, and then I watched it again, and I was like, wait a minute, what happened to this movie that I liked? There's just so many terrible things happen in that movie. You're just like, why? Why is this happening? Oh man, just missed opportunities, bad plot, bad dialogue, bad plot points. Just, oh man, I hate that movie. Iron Man 2, that's the one. Blade 3 was terrible. Sorry, just throwing that out there.
Dan?
Yeah, I would have to go with Blade 3 being terrible. It's like, remember, it's got that whole montage where the chick is like setting up her iPod.
Oh, dude, yeah, no, it was
That was horrible.
Hour of iPod freaking broadcasting.
And I love the old Tomb of Dracula comics, and to bring them in like that is no, not good. I would argue that Iron Man 3 is worse than 2, just because they didn't tease you with the whole Mandarin, and then halfway through the film, just go, oh, it's not the Mandarin. That's not what you wanted. You want more stupid robots, which is what you got for the first two.
I agree. I was sad that the Mandarin wasn't real. I thought
I liked Whiplash in part 2. I thought
you liked. Oh goodness sake, Dan! What the hell is wrong with you, man? Like, oh my goodness.
I thought it was cool. I mean, when big studios take cool ideas and then they try to make a family-friendly movie out of it, I'll take what is more or less cool.
Oh, dude. No, I mean, he disappears halfway through the movie, and then it just becomes irrelevant, and then he shows at the end, and then I'm sorry, but you're in Iron Man armor, and this is the only thing I really hate about all the Iron Man movies. Excuse me. When you're in this Iron Man armor, and you mess around with the stuff with your bare hands that you would normally be fighting in Iron Man armor, that is broken. That is done. And then there was having stuff come off him, and he's playing around, no helmet on and stuff like that. I'm like, no, how does Whiplash messing around with these dudes in Iron Man armor, and he's got his whole head and neck, and it was it was hard.
I said it was a cool concept. I didn't say it was a good movie.
Oh no, it was so stupid. And then I don't know, the end, Iron Man 2, dude. Iron Man 2, worst one.
3.
See, this is a fun conversation because I do, Max, after our conversation we had and you pointing out those certain things in Iron Man 2, I could totally see why you dislike that, at least the most out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But
it was the biggest letdown, to be sure. It was Iron Man 1 was so. Oh yes, Steel. Goodness sake, that movie. Oh, good call, Dan. But no.
Thank you.
Iron Man 1 was so good. So good, and then it was like Marvel. Here's Marvel. Look what we can do. Fuck everybody else. This is what's going down. And then, Iron Man 2 happened, and it's just
See, I am one of the people, and I know it's about 50-50 on Iron Man 3, but I'm one of the people who actually liked it. I like the idea of taking, after the events of the Avenger, really getting Tony Stark down to where he has nothing to rely on except for, his skills, his smarts to get to where he needed to go, and I really like that aspect of it. And I'm not an Iron Man fan in the comic books, so the Mandarin means absolutely nothing to me. I've never really read the comic books until recently. So, I thought it was a funny twist. I'm not going to lie, but I can see why people would be pissed off. I understand. I get it.
But he was so cool, you know what I'm saying? He was such a cool bad guy. And then to make him a huge joke, what a waste. He was so cool.
He was scary at the beginning of that movie, when he was doing his little flips. Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, Ben Kingsley doing it. I was like, oh man.
yeah.
But I didn't know how they were gonna play it off.
Yeah.
Dan, right? You're worried about how they're gonna play it off.
Well, yeah, but I wanted the magic rings and all kinds of cool shit, and what you get is just a alcoholic actor.
Well, yeah, no, I'm saying, but when you thought that he was legit, when you thought that
yeah, but I thought it was going to be a lot better than it was.
No, I mean, no, I thought when he looked legit, I thought that was so cool. That is cool. Good on you to do the Mandarin in a more realistic way, but then you can kind of get in the mystic stuff if you want to still.
Like when the trailer came out, it was like, dude, this is gonna be badass, and then not so much.
And I heard that they're gonna try to bring him back, the whole acting thing was an act, that or something like that, or something stupid.
Well, there was that one short they made where they were gonna take Kingsley to go see the actual Mandarin.
Yeah, they there was a short. And what movie was that on? Maybe Thor.
Remember.
I think it was on the second Thor movie. It was on the Blu-ray where he's in his asylum or wherever they have him held, and then somebody comes and says, "You're being requested," and he says, "By who?" And then they're like, the real Mandarin, he's not happy with the way you portrayed him, and then that's how it ends.
Yes, that's stupid.
Maybe Trevor was the scapegoat, and the real Mandarin is still out there. I mean, there's ways around it, whatever. But like I said, I get the hate for Iron Man 3. I don't think it was the worst of the Marvel films,
No,
but I
the
can
worst
see
Iron Man
why.
2.
It's not the
Why?
worst of the Marvel films, but
No, I meant the cinematic universe, but I can see why.
Iron Man 3 was a shining spectacle of glory next to Iron Man 2. I mean, I like Iron Man 3 is very good, but I will watch Iron Man 3 any day of the week before I watch any Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
the man
Yeah,
just wants his bird. What do you want?
poor Philip had to drop out, it looks like. And we can't talk about bad comic book movies without mentioning Batman and Robin.
Oh
Now,
my!
Oh God.
Oh man!
I remember as a kid going to see Batman Forever, the Jim Carrey, Tommy Lee Jones, which we talked about during our Batman review. And
Yeah, it's bad, but a lot of
as a
fun.
kid, though, you enjoy it. But I remember leaving Batman and Robin as a kid and being like, "What the hell did they do to Iceman?" Like that's the thought in my head. Like I didn't know a whole lot about Bane, but I knew about Iceman because I had his action figure and I loved playing with it. And they screwed it up.
Mr. Freeze.
Iceman.
Iceman, yeah, Mr. Freeze. Sorry. Well, he looked like
He just got
Iceman.
into the Running Man now.
No, Batman and Robin. Okay, you know what movie came out right after Batman and Robin because of Batman and Robin? Blade. Like after Batman and Robin, they had to have blood raining out of sprinklers just to wash the stench of Batman and Robin off. It was. Yeah, that movie was so terrible. I mean, everybody who's been involved in that movie has apologized for it.
Yes.
I heard George Clooney wasn't allowed in Comic-Con. I don't know if that was a joke or not, but he said it in an interview that he wasn't allowed to go to San Diego because of Batman and Robin.
I believe it. If it's not true, then that's a good joke because it's believable.
It's a shame though, because if you look at that cast on paper, it's a pretty good cast.
I mean, no, not like Chris O'Donnell.
But you got, Clooney, Uma.
Yeah, Clooney's good, but this is back in his earlier days. He wasn't quite Clooney yet.
Yeah.
He's still that guy on ER.
True. Oh man.
I mean, what can go wrong with casting Arnold in there? I mean, oh.
Oh yeah, man. Arnold, goodness sake. And then like every line of his is some stupid pun.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Oh man. Scott C says any of the Ninja Turtle movies past 2 have been awful.
Yes.
I thought 2 was pretty bad when I was a kid, but it's still watchable.
As good as the first one.
No.
But I mean, come on, Ninja Rat, Vanilla Ice in there, Super Shredder. Come on, those are good. Those are good.
I don't know. There was an animated one that came out a few years ago that was okay.
Oh, that one was awesome. TMNT, the
yeah,
like,
I saw that with
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Oh man, I freaking love that movie. It's got its bad. It's kind of odd. I wish they would have just done Foot Soldiers or Foot Clan, but. One thing I did hear about a little correlation that's actually kind of funny. In Daredevil fights the Hand, and his master was Stick, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles they fight the Foot, and their master is Splinter. So it's a Daredevil pun. It's Daredevil.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, that's true. That's a true thing. But yeah.
We completely forgot about Howard the Duck.
Oh man, yeah, I throw Howard the Duck in there with the Captain America, Fantastic Four, early.
yeah, but Howard the Duck was actually released in theaters.
Yeah.
I mean, the Fantastic Four was made for TV, and the old Captain Americas were still TV movies.
Oh, okay. But Punisher was released in theaters, wasn't it?
Yeah, or at least straight to video, but it had some kind of release.
Anyway,
that one,
yes, was a big time for a weird comic. That's just that was set up for failure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was George Lucas too.
Oh, there you go.
If anybody knows about failure now, it's George Lucas.
Okay, $4 billion worth of failure. Whatever, dude. That guy, what a jerk.
He may have failed, but he failed into a bunch of money.
Oh
I would
my
actually put the Thomas Jane Punisher last of the 3 Punisher movies.
The Thomas Jane Punisher movie, yes, is the worst one.
Because I really liked the second one, because the second, or the, I don't know,
Punisher.
the third one, I guess. Yeah, because that at least brought in some form of Jigsaw, who was my favorite Punisher villain.
Yeah, it got super crazy at the end. I didn't like how they went with it. I really liked the beginning and like into the middle. I thought it was like super gritty. I was like, yeah, this is a pretty badass Punisher movie. But then they kind of turn left and you don't know what's going on. It gets really complicated.
I would have liked them to have brought in, the whole Jigsaw story, like in the beginning of the comics when they brought in the Rev and he's like chopping his arm off and growing it back. That would have been a weird ending too. So.
Anyway.
All right.
Awesome. I got a question. This is off topic a little bit, but I missed the Spider-Man conversation last week. What do you guys think the odds are that? Because remember last time the Avengers 1 came out, they filmed that end credit scene like 2 weeks with them eating in the restaurant before they actually released the movie. What do you think the odds are that Marvel will put Spider-Man in a post-credit scene for the Avengers movie? Kind of like, this is who we cast. Instead of announcing the casting to the public, throw it in an end credit scene at the very end of Avengers 2. I've heard other podcasts talk about this. I just wanted to see what you guys thought.
That'd be cool. That'd be super cool. I really hope they would do something like that. And again, with the little timeline shifts that they did, they should have enough time to get something filmed and just something real small. And I was looking at the I don't know if you guys remember when Arkham Origins came out. They had this little trailer that came out online where it's like Bruce Wayne and he goes through his whole life. You like go through the whole origin of Batman. It's like a 30-second trailer, and you like get everything. You know what I'm saying? You understand exactly what's going on the whole time. I'm like, if they could do something like that, you know what I'm saying? Like the end, it's like 30 seconds, and you just get the whole story. And that's you can like, hey, this is the guy, and here's the origin. So now that's out of the way. However you're playing it, like just get that out of the way without having to spend any time in a real movie talking about it.
Oh, here you go. It opens up with a teenager walking into a laboratory. They don't set up who the teenager is. It doesn't say Peter Parker. And then you see a spider come down, and it's done. And then they go into the next movie. He's already bit. We didn't have to see him get bit by the spider. We didn't have to see his uncle die for the 30th time.
You gotta watch Uncle Ben die. No. Okay, look, Uncle Ben has got to go, and you have to see it. Okay. I'm just saying they don't have to harp on it. Like, old man dies. You fucking see it. You see how fucked up he is. The old man's dead, and then later on you find out who the hell Uncle Ben is. That it's like, oh man, I wish Uncle Ben was here.
Hey, here we go.
Like, oh, that old man that died.
I just got a rewrite for you. Okay, so during Age of Ultron, you see an old man get stomped by Ultron. Then, in the laboratory that this teenager was
Uncle
into,
Ben.
there's a picture of the old man in the background, and then you see the spider drop. There you go. There's your movie. Dan, what do you think the odds are we'll find out, or we'll see a glimpse of Spider-Man in a post-credit scene?
Hold on now. See, I've got a better idea. How about you can the whole post-credit thing because it's been done to death. Okay. Instead, you've got the Avengers on the helicarrier or something, and they're standing around talking about things, and you see Nick Fury walking this kid like down the corridor, and one of the Avengers stops him and says, what's he doing here or something, and Fury goes, oh, he's a new recruit, and he walks him down, he puts a Spider-Man mask on, and that's all you get.
No, but then they're gonna have to kill Uncle Ben in the movie.
but see, then the twist later on is that Spider-Man realizes that Nick Fury capped Uncle Ben.
I got one better. Nick Fury is Uncle Ben. Nick Fury is Uncle Ben.
Holy Uncle Black Buck, that is genius!
Oh man, this has been a fun
Come
cast.
on.
I want to send a quick shout out to Mike McG from McG TV. We hope you get well soon, buddy. and Philip had to drop out because he was having bad connection issues. So, Max, what do you got for us?
All right. Marvel is doing the Infinity Gauntlet event starting in May 2015. Before Secret Wars gets started, they're doing an Infinity Gauntlet event. I'm not sure how many counts it's going to involve or how many big-time players there are going to be, but looks like the Nova Corps is definitely involved, and Thanos, obviously. Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos has got to be involved. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully they get some good writers. I really wish they would somehow magically get Dan Abnett back to fix what they've done with Galactic Marvel, but I'm not holding my breath or nothing. But yeah, so that starts in May. Infinity Gauntlet. We'll see how that goes, and then into Secret Wars. I think these are going to be like the last big events that I ever pay attention to with Marvel and DC. Like I might be done. Oh yeah, dude. Futures End has got me wishing I hadn't started.
Marvel and DC, I can assure you that Max is not done. He will read every event that you guys have, and he will complain about it, and he will be very sad, and he will hate himself.
Like, I'm not gonna buy these event books. I'll read them, but I'm not gonna buy them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, you're not gonna get my money for that crap. I'm sorry, guys. You need to put out a better product, fellas. You need to have some original ideas and put out some better products.
They keep doing those every year too. I mean,
yeah.
pretty much. It's like, oh, we got this big thing, and now we got that one, and it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like they just it's like somebody else in charge. You know, like they just like, oh, that guy got fired, so the new guy comes in and he's like, we're doing it this way, and then then he gets fired, and then it's like football coaches. They come in, they got a whole other guy's team, and then people expect them to win. It's like, oh, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, so.
How'd Batman get there? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, we'll roll with it, I guess.
Oh, well, thanks for listening to us. If you're in the Columbus area, Saturday at 1 o'clock in downtown Columbus at AJ's Cafe, we are doing our comic book club. We're reading The Walking Dead Volume 1 and Civil War. So,
it will happen this time. It will happen.
Yep, we will. Yeah, we'll be there. It starts at 1, but Max and I should be there, I'd say, around 12:15. So if you want to get there a little early, discuss some kind of comic books, maybe we'll throw a movie in, whatever. Come and hang out with us. Also, if you live in the Columbus area, check out VGMX, both their locations. Just go to vgmx.com for store hours, times, and coupons. My name is Jay, joined by Max and Dan. And again, another shout out to Philip and Mike. We missed you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great night.